ଶିଉଟିਅપિᒃ, ᓃnaᕗήθ. My name is Franco Buscemi. I'm from ᓃnaᕗήθ. I'll be reading pages 163 and 164 of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission Final Report. Aboriginal Healing Practices. Aboriginal health practices and beliefs, like Aboriginal peoples themselves, are diverse. However, a holistic approach to health is common to many Aboriginal cultures and has also been increasingly validated by Western medicine. A belief shared among many Inuit, Métis, and First Nations people is that a sacred connection exists among people, the earth, and everything above it, upon it, and within it. For purposes of healing, this means activities such as on the land or bush healing camps, where participants can experience the healing power of the natural world. Traditional practices can also include sweat lodges, cedar baths, smudging, the lighting of the hullik, and other spiritual ceremonies. Best practices for Aboriginal wellness involve a range of services from mainstream healthcare to traditional practices and medicines, all under community leadership and control. Such an integrated approach has the power to improve the lives of all community members. Calls to action. We call upon the federal government to provide sustainable funding for existing and new Aboriginal health centers to address the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual harms caused by residential schools, and to ensure that the funding of healing centers in Nunavut and the Northwest Territories is a priority. 22. We call upon those who can effect change within the Canadian healthcare system to recognize the value of Aboriginal healing practices and to use them in treatment of Aboriginal patients in collaboration with Aboriginal healers and elders where requested by Aboriginal patients. Overcoming the health legacy of the residential schools will require a long-term investment in Aboriginal communities so that communities can revive their capacity to heal themselves. One key investment will be the training of more Aboriginal health and social service providers. The work that Health Canada's Community, Cultural and Traditional Knowledge Healing Team members did in support of this commission and other settlement agreement processes is but one example of the invaluable service these professionals can provide. 23. We call upon all levels of government to 1. Increase the number of Aboriginal professionals working in the healthcare field. 2. Ensure the retention of Aboriginal healthcare providers in Aboriginal communities. 3. Provide cultural competency training for all healthcare professionals. Closing the gap in health outcomes will come about only as part of a comprehensive strategy of change. To be more effective in improving health outcomes, non-Aboriginal medical practitioners must develop a better understanding of the health issues facing Canada's Aboriginal peoples and of the legacy of residential schools. 24. We call upon medical and nursing schools in Canada to require all students to take a course dealing with Aboriginal health issues, including the history and legacy of residential schools, the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, Treaties and Aboriginal Rights, and Indigenous teachings and practices. This will require skills-based training in intercultural competency, conflict resolution, human rights, and anti-racism.